Becoming a parent or a grandparent, it changes everything to say the least. One day you're mostly planning for yourself, retirement, vacations, maybe helping your own parents. Then suddenly you're looking into the face of a brand new child and the question shifts. How do I make sure this little one is provided for no matter what? New parents often feel the weight of financial responsibility for the first time. New grandparents, meanwhile, often want to help, whether by offering wisdom, resources, or even just peace of mind. So, today we're going to talk about financial planning for new parents and grandparents, estate planning, guardianship, education funding, health expenses, gifts, and how to build a truly multi generational strategy. Today's October 24th, 2025, and this is your Friday planning video. Now we know raising kids takes more than love, it takes planning. Please take note again, I'm not a tax advisor nor a legal advisor. This is where your full team comes in. But let's go over a few areas. Let's start with some estate planning essentials. After all, we're closing out National Estate Planning Awareness Week. Let's start with the parents. If you do nothing else, at least put basic documents in place. Your will, who inherits your property, and who will raise your children if something happens to you. Along with that, guardianship designations. Naming someone to care for that child is one of the hardest, but most important decisions you'll ever make. And of course, powers of attorney, financial and healthcare. So someone you trust can act if you're incapacitated. And for the grandparents, even if your will was written years ago, it's worth reviewing now. Ask yourself, do you want your assets to pass directly to your grandchildren or through their parents? Are your beneficiary designations updated on your retirement accounts and your insurance? Does your estate plan align with your children's wishes for how their kids should be cared for? A revocable living trust may also make sense, especially in states with burdensome probate. Another big topic is life insurance and protection. Parents with young kids almost always need some form of life insurance. Why? Because the cost of raising children is enormous. We know this: housing, food, clothing, healthcare, and especially education. This is clearly not an everyone advice. So as I've said many times, that's why they call it personal financial planning. It is personal to each one. Term insurance is often the most affordable way to protect kids. Permanent insurance adds a savings component, but it costs more. Grandparents can play a role here too, whether by helping fund a policy for their adult children or by checking that their own policy beneficiaries are up to date. Proceeds from insurance generally pass tax-free, and in some cases, holding a policy in a trust can shield it from estate taxes. This one you hear a lot from me. Guardianship and roles, wills and trusts don't just pass down money, they designate roles. Three big ones to understand. Guardian. The guardian raises the child if the parents pass away. The executor, they carry out the will. And the trustee, they manage the money in a trust for the child's benefit. Grandparents may be asked to serve in one or more of these roles. Sometimes that's a blessing, sometimes it's a burden. It's okay to say no if it doesn't fit in your health, age, or geography. The key is clarity. Parents should communicate their wishes openly, and grandparents should understand what's being asked of them. Special needs planning is something else. If a child is born with special needs, planning becomes even more important. Options include special needs trusts. We've talked about those before. They allow families to save for a child's long-term care without jeopardizing eligibility of government benefits. ABLE accounts, those are state-run accounts, a little bit like 529 accounts. They allow for after-tax contributions and tax-free withdrawals for qualified expenses. Grandparents often want to help, but direct gifts can backfire if they disqualify a child from government support. Coordinating with a legal advisor helps to set it up so that the gifts are structured properly. Let's talk about education funding. Few expenses loom larger than education. The good news, there are powerful tools to help. 529 plans. Those are those tax advantage accounts for college and up to $10,000 per year for private K through 12 tuition in some states. Money grows tax deferred, and withdrawals for qualified expenses are tax free. Grandparents can make front-loaded contributions up to $95,000 per child or $190,000 per couple by accelerating 5 years of gifts at one time. You can also make direct tuition payments. You can pay the school directly. It doesn't even count against gift tax exemptions. Parents should start small but early. Automatic monthly contributions add up over 18 years. Grandparents can decide whether to gift into the parents' accounts or open their own 529s. Either way, communication matters. Surprise gifts are wonderful, but aligning on timing and financial aid implications is even better. There are a lot of topics here to talk about, especially with financial aid and what each account does to those, so let's discuss. There's also a short video I did recently, about 16 minutes long, about 529 plans. Let me know if you want me to send you that link. And if you thought education was expensive, try health funding. Medical costs are another area where grandparents often step in. The simplest way, pay providers directly. If you write the check to the doctor, the hospital, the insurance company, it doesn't count as a taxable gift. That means you can help in a big way without using your annual exclusion. For parents, budgeting for insurance, pediatric care, and unexpected costs is critical. A health savings account or an HSA, if available, is a powerful tool. Contributions are deductible, growth is tax-free, and withdrawals for medical expenses are also tax-free. If you choose, you can talk about cash, gifts, and trust funding. Not every gift needs to be for education or healthcare. Sometimes the most meaningful support is flexible. Money can be used for braces, for sports equipment, or even for down payment someday. Options include custodial accounts. Those are simple, but the children do gain control at the age of majority depending on the state. Irrevocable trusts, much more complex, but they can last beyond the age of majority and even support multiple generations. Parents, think carefully before handing assets outright to kids at age 18. Grandparents, make sure your gifts fit with the parents' goals and values. Now let's talk multi-generational wealth. The strategy is another important one, and use of time. A new baby is a reminder. Wealth planning is multi-generational. That might mean holding a family wealth meeting, formal or informal, to discuss family missions and values, education about responsible money habits, how wealth will be managed across generations. Grandparents can act as guides, but along with tax and legal advisors. I can help facilitate also to avoid some family tension sometimes. This type of meeting, especially the money habits part, is one of my favorite things to do with the next generation. Let me know if you want to discuss how this happens. Access to digital information and other practical organization. This is where families often stumble. All the plannings in the world doesn't matter if no one knows how to access it. Keep estate planning documents in a safe place and tell family how to find them. Store digital passwords in a secure password manager with emergency access. Review beneficiaries and account titles regularly. It's not glamorous, but organization is the bridge between good intentions and real results. How about a framework for action? Here's a practical roadmap adapted from a great piece from Capital Groups that I just read, and the attached. And so let's talk about that. We want to establish or update your estate plan. Ensure parents have wills, guardians, and life insurance. Confirm who's going to serve as the guardian, executor, or trustee. For special needs, explore special needs trust or ABLE accounts. Consider 529s and direct tuition support. Pay health expenses directly when appropriate. Use annual cash gifts or larger trust contributions to help. Think multi-generational, hold family wealth conversations. And of course, keep documents and passwords organized and accessible. Here's the truth. Parenting and grandparenting are not just about raising a child, they're about raising a future. Every dollar you save, every form you update, every gift you structure wisely, it all sends a message. It says we're thinking ahead, we're protecting you, we're giving you a foundation to grow. So whether you're cradling a newborn in the hospital or watching your kids become parents themselves, now is the time to act. Put your plans in writing, align your estate, your beneficiaries, and your accounts, decide how you want to help, whether through education, health, or flexible support. Because the greatest legacy you can leave isn't money, it's clarity, care, and intention. For now, keep in touch and keep planning.